My mother, who is 35 years old, is now dating a 58-year-old man. I should call him Dad, he wants. He's 24 years old. How am I supposed to get around this? Put on your car belt, because this is really weird. I'm a man who is 35 years old. For some background, my dad died when I was 19, so my mom raised me and my two brothers. It's me who is older. My mom finally did it after a while. In the end, they started dating again. Our homes are next to each other with a gate between them, but we don't live in the same house. They often do my laundry, call me to dinner, or take care of our dog, and I do the same for them. My family and I eat there about every other Friday for dinner. Over time, the guys she's been seeing have become younger and younger, but I've never had a problem with them. She has told me and my brothers that she wants to get married again, and we have always agreed with her. Okay, at least after the first few shocks. These days, the new boyfriend is the most serious one. They've been together for a relationship since June of last year. Beginning of fall, he asked her to marry him. Their wedding is set for next summer. We don't mind because it's her life and we trust him, so let me say that again. He is a nice person, and it's clear that they care deeply about each other. Anyhow, Phil, her fiancé, called me this weekend and asked if I could come over. I said of course I'll come over after work. I thought he just needed help with some jobs around the house. As soon as I walk in, he calls me sport and says we need to talk. He does this to my younger brother and me, I need to say that. They call. We were called names like Kid Sport Scout Little Buddy and my favorite, Red and Blue. My brother is 30 years old. He once tried to flirt with my younger sister by calling her princess, but she turned him down with a cold look. The main goal of Phil's life has always been to find a partner, get married, and start a family, just like Charlie Day's character in HR Bosses. When he told this to my brother and me, my brother joked that our mom might not have finished the last part. He got mad, but they made up later. He told me my mom wasn't there when I asked. He was the only one there, and he told us we needed to talk about something important. He told me that his dream was to have a son and raise him as a father. Then he shocked me by saying, "I'll never be your dad, but it would mean a lot to me if you called me that. I admit it." I laughed quietly. Then I knew he was serious because he looked like he was going to cry. He also didn't let it fall. When I asked him if he was serious, he got very upset. He talked about how important it is to be a man of responsibility and said that his dream is to have a family and take care of them. He told me and my brothers that he wanted us to be a part of that family. He said it again and again, he will never be my father. I felt a little bad about this. He is, however, willing to be my father and care for me, my brothers and me. I told him, I'm 10 years older than you and live in a different house. I don't need anyone to take care of me, and even if I did, I don't think a guy who is much younger than me, works part-time at a store, and likes collecting manga would be the right person for the job. That's fine if you like it, haha, I'm not sure. It caught me off guard, so I just said yes. He then got upset again, but this time in a good way. He talked about how he wanted to go camping or to a baseball game. I really don't enjoy baseball at all. It's interesting that he first played for this year, and he wants me to come with him as a friend. It doesn't seem real at all, especially since I'm a Shriner. Talking about being kind and helping others is not something to brag about, especially since I am 10 years older than him. He got very angry when I told him, this is getting too strange, so I'm going home. When I called my brother, he agreed that it sounded very odd. My mom called me later to say that he wasn't upset, but he did say that it had made him very sad and down. I told her not to worry about him being shy. He must be excited about the wedding, right? Let's just laugh about this as a funny story. Afterward, she told him that he was mad because... Not that. He is upset because he told me how he felt and I turned him down. She is also sometimes upset. While I was upset, she said, yes, it may seem a little strange, but this is how he shows himself that he is a man. I replied, first of all, it's not my job to confirm his gender, and second, this doesn't show he's a man, it just shows he's crazy. I immediately apologized, but she said she didn't want to listen and ended the call. After 10 minutes, she called again. We told her we were sorry, and she told me to act like nothing happened until he has kids of his own. I won't go into too much detail, but she said by mistake that they are thinking about trying IVF. It could help because she still wants to have a child. Also, I have my own thoughts on whether that's a good idea or not. That is not what I am here to fight about. We had a good ending, and I told her again that I would be there for her. She agreed that the situation was making me feel stressed and asked me to think about it, which gets me to this point. I'm going to say no for sure after giving it some thought. My dad died. Away. Dad, please rest in peace. There is no other dad I want or need, and I will never call anyone else dad. What I want to know is what to say, not if someone is being unfair or what I should do. What makes this so important to him? I care a lot about my mom, so I want to keep the harm to a minimum. since they live close to me and we are still very close. What's the right way for me to tell them that this is weird and almost offensive? I'm afraid of how the problem might affect my family, so I don't want to deal with it. My brother laughed so hard when I showed him the post. He began to cough. Then he said we should call him Dr. Phil wants us to switch between the nicknames he gave us from blue to red. What do you think? Edit 2. Some people were asking why he couldn't get to my mom's money or something like that. The house she's renting already has furniture, and she doesn't own anything else of value. We can't think about it because it would hurt her finances since she doesn't make much. Important things to say, for Doreen Raven. I wonder if he didn't have a father when he was growing up. Everything has a strange 1950s vibe to it because of him. Watching TV is the only way I know about dads. Oh no, his dad is still living. I've met both of his parents. Even though they think it's weird, they decide to go along with it because it will make him happy. I had a dizzy feeling. The way things look, your mom and her partner may have met when they were both very weak. So it's possible that your natural desire to keep helping them is right. Things are different when someone weak asks for help than when they do not. Could we just call him Pa instead? Should you jump or take a step? You can call him by different names like Coach Tom or Chief Wayne. You might want to ask him if he's okay if that's the case with it. A nickname he made up for himself might be a way for him to show that he is close to your mom. Could you give me the text that needs to be changed or rewritten? While OP is learning how to handle this problem, I think they should get some help and maybe even brain scans. OP lives next door to me, and I was looking for ways to keep the peace for now, because the boys are depressed. It was even stranger than I thought it would be. He really cares about Oop more than just a name. It's clear that he wants to do things with me and my brother like he was our dad, even though we are older than him. This is really cute. He does feel like a child in this home and relationship. In this case, he won't feel like the head of the home. It is not likely that he will have a child of his own. Why does he stay? Programming that is focused on objects. My brothers and I think it's hard for him to talk to girls his age. That's how we got here. Moa 711. I would have laughed and told them, no honey, let's start over. This is not how it should be done. I know you are also helping your mom. You might want to ask though. Ask her why she chose to have a child at age 58. Do you think she will go to the graduation? Are you married? Have you got grandchildren? It looks like your mom is upset that you're leaving and is trying to make some changes that might not make sense. If she got pregnant now, her child would be in high school when she is 77 years old. She won't be in her 80s when the child finishes school because she hasn't even started yet. That's not a good idea. I'm only 38 years old, but having a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old makes me feel tired all the time. It's hard for me to picture how someone 58 years old would feel. Programming that is focused on objects. Really, I don't believe this will happen. That's why I'm ready to back you up and say yes, even though I don't think she will actually get permission for the treatment. When I brought up the age problem, she only said that people live longer these days. Just tell Rick Russell from Texas no straight out. In a helpful way, you can say it. He is kind to worry about your mom, which makes you feel good. But just tell him no, this is not something that can be negotiated, and making things easier for him won't help you. We are giving him strength to believe false things if we don't definitely reject him. I believe that he will ask for more things if we give in even a little. I have no idea what his. No matter what his ultimate goal is, whether it has to do with mental health or setting a law example for others to follow, it doesn't matter. You are not required to explain or back up this choice. Programming that is focused on objects. What is the end goal? I'm sure he wants to have a family or at least act like a dad. He has only talked about becoming a father since we met. He says it will make him feel like a grown-up man. It was the first thing he said that made me think about having kids. He looked shocked and confused when I told him no. Because I don't want to be a dad. He made it sound like I might be gay or even queer. It was so funny by the end that I hope everything works out well in the end. Things aren't making sense. I think you should talk to your mom and spend time with her. Partner as friends, not in a strange fatherly way. I have given this. When my brother and I get together, he always tries to put us in charge or plan things that are better for a dad and son. He talks a lot about how much he wants to have a child. When he felt stuck in the suburbs, one of his favorite things to do was pull out his phone and read some smart quotes he had found online. Yes, she probably hasn't seen a doctor yet, and is probably making up unrealistic plans for the future based on what she reads online and watches in love movies. Considering what was said about the couple's finances, they wouldn't have enough cash to pay for IVF even if it were a choice. She hasn't been to the doctor yet. These are only things they want to do later. They have never talked about money, and my sister is afraid that they will ask us to pay them. After 4 days, I told my brothers what happened, and we all agreed to talk to Phil about it at our family dinner next week. Especially after Phil called my brother a sport and asked him to come watch a baseball game. I have to say that your comments made me feel better, so I chose to join in. I told him, oh no instead.
Then my brother joked, Daddy wants me all to himself. Hey Shim. Hot Phil took a while to respond, saying that he was shocked, stunned, and disgusted. Then he sent me a private message to tell me he was shocked, and that he would never be rude to his dad like you boys did. When I was mad, I told Phil, you're not my dad, you're just a 24-year-old guy dating my mum. You don't deserve my respect. Especially the respect that comes from a father. I quickly told him I was sorry, blocked his number, and left the group chat. It looks like he sent something like this to my brother, who answered with more things about his dad, and Phil blocked him. Besides that though, I don't think our family is going to have dinner together. Someone from Phil's Lions Club saw the first post and told their boss about it after it got a lot of attention. Phil has either been kicked out or left alone, or he is in the middle of either of those two things. He has taken down almost all of the Lions posts from his social media and no longer talks about being a member. In his mysterious farewell post, he talks about the duties that come with being a man today and the task of being a father that all guys are born with. My mum called me because she was worried and mad about what I said about him. Then she broke down and suggested we get together. We did, and we asked my brother to come too. I know he lives with his parents in the nearby town right now, but I think they still want to have the wedding because they have already spent money on it. Whenever she said she wanted to have more kids, brother asked her if she thought it was a good idea for someone her age. There would still be college debt for them even if she had the baby next year and lived to be 80 years old. I told her. She kept talking about how people are living longer now. Then she broke down in tears and said she wasn't ready to stop being a mother because of something bad that happened in the past, and worries that her family will fall apart, which I won't talk about out of respect for her. She calmed down when we told her we would stay, and we had a good, honest talk. She gave up on the idea of IVF because it was too expensive and most likely wouldn't be allowed. She still strongly believes that it is possible to do scientifically, and she thinks that she should be able to do it because it is the right thing to do, and she needs to win that argument. In what way are you aware? And has chosen to think about becoming a foster parent instead. We're not going because my brother and I don't think anything bad will happen. Now I'm worried. The good news is that she has also decided to deal with her trauma by going to therapy. We put her in touch with a nice therapist in town so they can talk about everything in a better way. Someone is getting the help they need, at least one person. I don't know what's going on with Phil or what will happen to him, but I made it clear to my mum that he is not my father, not even my stepfather, and I am not a kid. He will never be able to become either one without getting into trouble with the law. She quickly changed her mind. I think she's more open now, and we both agree that. That will be a very important line for us if things move forward. Following what took place, I'm not sure if he will still want to be my friend. LOL. Thanks to everyone who helped with the last post. I'm sorry I can't answer everyone, but I think the wedding has been cancelled. Once again, Phil has been seen without approval. He and his family are very angry with each other because they want him to back out of the wedding and hang out with people his age. I thought this made him lose his cool. Phil's mum and older brother have met my mum and me. They said Phil isn't sure what to do around girls his age, and because he has never been able to talk to them, he likes older women more. My mum was very upset about this, but after we all begged her, she agreed to put off the wedding. She still wants to keep going out with him. Phil isn't with me, but his brother thinks he might be with his Dungeons & Dragons friends. My brother and I have been getting mean messages from these friends because they think we're jealous of Phil. If you have trouble making friends and reading this, know that I don't have to go after older people because I can just talk to guys my age like anyone else. Peace and quiet. Let's read story 2 next. Someone on my team ate some gummy bears from. It was my desk that made her sick. And now she wants to sue me. Is this really Game of Thrones? Michigan is where this is. Please be patient with me. I'm from Germany and don't know much about how the law works in the US. There was an offer to hire me as a teacher of German at a large university in Michigan last year. I just got my PhD, and I'm really excited about the chance to work as a researcher, or maybe even as a graduate fellow in the same field I applied for. I teach German literature most of the time, but The university also wants me to help students who are having trouble writing. I started going to a workshop with people from many different areas of study. There are at least 4 of us in this workshop, and we generally get along well. That being said, there is an older woman who saw me as a rival from the start. I'm not sure what made her mad, but she doesn't like something about me. Bring on the fight. While I talked to a student and gave them directions, I left my bowl of gummy bears on the desk. Remember that these sweets don't have any sugar and can taste different every time. You will be sick and stay in bed all day if you eat too much. The bathroom. Somebody else, though, ate all the food. She first said she was busy as an excuse, and then she called in sick. She came up to me the next day and said I was to blame for everything that had happened. She thought I put those gummy bears there on purpose to make her look bad. The woman said she had already told her boss and her lawyer that I would be deported soon. We laughed at the signs that she was having stomach problems, which is the only thing I feel bad about. Important comments. The original poster answered 2 comments that have since been taken down. She says it was tempting that I left the bowl out in the open to eat the poison, she and other people. I told her that the gummy bears didn't have any sugar in them, and that she might have a weak stomach if they made her very sick after that many. I likely did something wrong. I should have kept quiet. I'm sorry, but I need more information or background to copy. Could you give me the whole text or more information? Thanks for getting back to me so quickly. A lot of the comments are funny, but I have to deal with this situation and feel very unsafe because I don't know how the US legal system works. I have made some rude. I just got some emails from her, and I hope HR is helping me. Anyway, thanks for the complete answer. Grasshopper 1, your comments are the funniest. This is a wonderful story. You don't need to worry about anything. If someone else eats all of your sugar-free gummy bears, you won't feel bad about it. She also won't win a court case because she had to go to the bathroom a lot. I know what she's going through because I had too many sugar-free candies once, but her case isn't strong outside of the track. When I saw the word volatile, I thought it had something to do with the candy. That blow up. I believe they were, but not in the way I thought. No, you shouldn't care that your friend ate a lot of sugary alcohol gummy bears, unless you made it clear that they were okay for her to eat. We're still in Michigan. Yesterday I had a good conversation with the human resources team. We both had interviews yesterday, but at different times. No ACA solo contar lo que pasó y cómo podríamos hacer nuestro lugar de trabajo mejor en el futuro. This is how she sees things. I'll keep it short. Candy with laxatives was put on purpose by Herbie Castle in the office where everyone shares room to get me and other people sick. My point of view. I forgot to bring my bowl of gummy bears that I like to give to everyone in my area. I didn't believe that anyone would eat all of the sugar-free gummy bears. As far as the law goes, that would be a case based on common sense. To show that I wasn't up to no good, I also brought a real German gummy bear package. In fact, my clothes have been dirty for a few days now, and I haven't eaten any laxative gummy bears. It's hard to believe that yesterday at lunch we talked and made up. Because she has food allergies, she has had trouble in the past.